I don't know about y'all, but the ending of this episode had me shooketh. Let's talk about Queen Sugar. Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy, Kenny. Now, remember, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box as well as the comment section. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Excuse me. Before I get started with this review, let me send a special shout out to Metro Health DC. If you are in the DMV area and you're looking for quality health care, reach out to Metro Health DC today. The number is in the description box in the comment section. And there's also a form that you can fill out. Fill out the form with your information, and someone from the outreach team will be in touch with you. Also, let me send a shout out to GMHC, which is Gay Men's Health Collaborative. If you are in the DMV area and you're looking to get tested for HIV, reach out to us at the GMHC crew. Reach out to us at the GMHC crew for a home testing kit. You can have the kit mailed to you, or you can call and make a same-day appointment and actually come to our location to pick one up. And if you're also interested in getting set up for PrEP, which is HIV prevention medication, reach out to the GMHC crew for that as well. Also, if you're a fan of your boy here in KRSTV and would like to become one of my Black Diamonds, subscribe to my Patreon today. Black Diamonds, because in darkness we still shine. For $5 a month, you get all of my YouTube content as well as videos specifically for the Black Diamonds, and some of those videos will be shared on YouTube to give everyone an idea of what the Black Diamonds is all about. Also, let me send a shout out to my YouTube partner BK World 2. Which is the Black Netflix. You get shows like The Oval and the Love and Hip Hop. So after this review, check that link in my description box and comment section to check out BK World Tube. Now, this is Queen Sugar Season 5, Episode 9, and the name of this episode is In Summertime to Simply Be. Let me tell you, y'all, this episode had me gagged at the end because literally Nova's world got turned upside down. And I just can't wait to talk about it. So let's begin. So the episode opens up. Blue is looking for like his history packet or whatever. He goes into the office and he finds the acceptance letter. And he was like, wow, this is awesome. Am I going to this school? So then Ralph, Angel, and Darla actually have a conversation with him. They said, if you want to do this, you're going to be going away for a few months, and you're going to be living in Washington D.C. with your grandmother. But he pretty much says that, I don't want to be away from you guys. And then we also see a scene where Ralph, Angel, and Blue, he gives him, this Black Panther figurine. And it was a really touching moment, and it was also paying homage to the late Chadwick Boseman, who is also being nominated for an Academy Award for his role in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So, Chadwick Boseman was really one of a kind, and he will be deeply missed. But then Ralph Angel says he's not gone. He made his mark on this world. He will live forever. And then it just kind of brought into this whole idea of immortality. And the same thing with his grandpa, Ernest. He's still alive in all of their hearts. But then he says that, I don't play with dolls anymore, so I'm going to keep it in the box. But then they both did the Wakanda salute. I mean, when I actually went to go see Black Panther, the highlight for me was watching little black boys do the Wakanda salute, because now they see that we as black men can be superheroes as well. So I thought that was a very profound moment. And, Ralph Angel is kind of tossing up and down whether he wants Blue to go to this school in DC. And then also he's probably still toying with the fact that the fact that, he literally got emasculated right in front of Blue by that racist ass police officer. So we see that he has a conversation with Micah, who's in Minneapolis, and Micah has no idea of what's going on with Charlie. But then they go back and forth, and Ralph Angel shares with Micah about the school that he got accepted to, and immediately Micah was like, "Wow, that's amazing." And he says that the Sidewell Friend School, he's like, that's the best school in the country. The Obama girls went there. And he was saying that, look, Blue, this will be a great opportunity for Blue because it will open doors for him. And then he shared for himself that, yeah, I chose to go to an HBCU, but I had options because of the fact that my parents put me in this elite LA prep school. So it gives you a leg up to be a part of some of these, prestigious schools. So, and he says that it gives you the privilege to make choices. So that, I think, is what stuck with Ralph Angel. But then we also saw that Blue was having a conversation with his friend Marcus, and he says that his friend Marcus says he wants to be a lawyer, but Blue is like, I want to be a farmer like my pops. And then later on, Ralph Angel goes to Darla and says, we need to talk to Blue. And pretty much after the conversation, Blue decided that he wanted to go to the school, which was everything. And then now I'm going to talk about Hollywood and Vi. Hollywood is actually working on making the real spot virtual, which is a genius idea. And he's working on getting, invites to his first meeting. And he pretty much notices that Vi is about to make a call to Nova to try to talk to Ralph Angel about Blue and about Blue not going to DC because she doesn't want Blue to go at all. And Hollywood was like, why don't you just talk to Ralph Angel yourself, Vi? And pretty much he says and he says that here it is, Vi, you say you're not meddling, yeah, but yet you're using other people to do it though. So he's pretty much kind of asking, like, what's really going on, Vi? Why are you acting like this? Because it's like Vi is like literally acting like, I mean, she has a very deep connection to Blue because she raised Blue when he was an infant, when Ralph Angel and Darla couldn't because of their circumstances at the time. So she doesn't want Blue to go at all. So then, we see later on that Nova and Ralph Angel have a conversation. And like, she says, I heard about Blue getting accepted into to the Sidwell Friend School. And pretty much, Ralph Angel at the time was like, well, it's not a good spot for him right now. We just need to find a better school here in St. Joe's. And then, like, of course, Nova is, like, against it because she says that, these elite schools is all about filling a diversity quota. It don't make it, and she pretty much says that, like, but then Ralph Angel brings up the fact that, well, you got into that school, Tulane University, And pretty much, Nova says that, look, just because it's white don't make it right or better. And she says that Blue will thrive wherever he goes. And she pretty much told him that, because at the time they had decided not to let him go. And, Nova was like, you made the right decision. And then we see that Vi does reach out to Ralph Angel, and Hollywood is actually right next to Vi. And she pretty much telling Ralph Angel, you need to come to your senses regarding Blue. And she says, you need to think things through. She says, you need to stop overthinking and embrace who we are, going someplace to find us, going someplace to find us. And in all honesty, they want to be us. And then she brings up this girl named Patty Mo. She wanted to get into Louisiana State, but things didn't happen. And now she's in this management program at this supermarket, and she's an essential worker, so she'll always have a job. And then, Hollywood was like, good for her. But that's Patty Mo. She's not Blue. I was like, Hollywood was given straight truth, and that's what I love about Hollywood. Hollywood, there is no BS with him. And then, Vi still keeps going on her tangents, you will never see CEO on a headstone. Life is about love and family. And we can see that Ralph Angel feels some kind of way because he feels that, and she's overstepping, because at the end of the day, the decision for Blue to go to school is a decision left up to Ralph Angel and Darla because they are his parents. And we just see that Vi just has that controlling nature when it comes to Blue, and she doesn't want Blue to leave. And then we see, now I'm going to talk about Nova and Calvin. And there's a shocker at the end, so hold on with me. We see that Nova and Calvin right now is in Baton Rouge. He now runs his own personal security company, and they're doing COVID screenings and all of that. And she's working on this new story about this college kid who was paralyzed by police, and he was actually a sports star who had got a scholarship to college. So then we see that Nova meets with this journalist named Mrs. Baptiste. She's pretty much a pioneer, and she was the first one that broke the story. And the name of the guy who was a victim of police brutality, his name was Andre Nixon. And pretty much, Miss Baptiste says that she felt invisible because they weren't trying to really promote the story that she did on him. And she says the paper was happy when she retired. But she says that pretty much, Andre was a sophomore in college. He was from Ward 9. And, and then she pretty much says that what happened is that the good old boys, got to him, and, it's like they literally threw him down a flight of stairs, and nobody's talking. Even the family's not talking. And then, we see that Nova comes in, and she gets a text from Ralph Angel that they're going to have a family meeting because they have decided to share with the family that Blue is going to go to the Sidewell Friends School. And then while she's walking in the house, she bumps into the table, and the actual picture of her and Calvin breaks. The frame breaks. So I'm like, a storm is coming in regards to Nova and Calvin's relationship. So then we see, now I'm going to talk about Charlie and Davis. We really see throughout this episode Charlie and Davis are literally building a new relationship. He fixed the door that he broke when he broke in to get to her. We see that she's getting better. He had bought her groceries. And we just see she's perplexed because she's seeing a side of Davis that she never seen before. I mean, we know their history. And to see how he's very attentive, how he's caring and he's nurturing, this is all a shock to her, but yet she's intrigued at the same time. We see them watching this little quiz show together. We come to find out that Davis was actually a nerd. He was a history scholar. But then, he was like, but obviously that didn't work for the image when I went to go play pro ball. But she says that actually, the image that I was crafting for you was debonair and classy, and the nerd was still a part of that. We see that he makes dinner for her, and then they talk about Micah and how Micah is literally leading this fight, and helping other people and other that. And then they talked about how Micah went through that spoiled brat phase. But we come to find out also that not only does her family doesn't know that she contracted the virus, but the council doesn't know either. And pretty much, Davis is letting her know that, look, maybe this is a sign that it's just your time to rest. And he was like, remember what you told me? You not to rush yourself to a halt. Take your time. And it was cool, to really see them have that connection. So then here's the family meeting, and this is when things get good. Blue announces that he is going to the Sidwell school. We see Charlie puts on the front that everything is fine, even though she's still under the weather. Charlie congratulates him. Micah congratulates him. Nova is excited. Hollywood's excited. But that damn Aunt Vi puts on this brave face, but we can see through it. She is pissed. And then we see that she texts Ralph Angel to call her after everything was over. And then once they get on the phone, Aunt Vi starts with her mean shit. She starts telling Ralph Angel, you are not your father's son. You done put the world on this boy's shoulders. Haven't he had enough of you and Darla's shit? And Ralph Angel stands up for himself and was like, I don't have to answer to you. And he's like, look, at the end of the day, I don't have to answer to nobody but my damn self. And then she's pretty much saying that, well, that he is just as much as your son as he is mine. Oh, that Ralph Angel was like, you're not his mama, Aunt Vi. He's not your son. As a matter of fact, you ain't even a parent, Aunt Vi. And I was like, that was the only thing I had that I would say about Ralph Angel that he did wrong. She is a parent. She raised that boy when no one did. As a matter of fact, she's a surrogate mother to you, Nova, and to Charlie over the years, especially after your mother died. She was that mother figure, and she still is. So physically bringing a child to term doesn't make you a parent. How you nurture and how you develop that child is what makes you a parent. And Aunt Vi is that. She is a parent. But at the end of the day, she is overstepping. And I had to admit, yeah, Ralph Angel, you had the right to stand up for yourself, but then not to say that she's not a parent, that part was wrong. Because Aunt Vi is a parent. She's just doing too damn much at the time. And then pretty much she starts going in like, she's saying that, look, I'm not trying to be mean. And, I'm trying not to disrespect you, but I'm getting tired of you trying to tell me how to raise my son. And she pretty much goes in like, you a damn shame. Your father would be ashamed of you. And with all your puffing and huffing and strutting, you ain't nothing but a boy yourself. I was like, oh, really, Vi? Vi was dead ass wrong. Dead ass wrong. So because he didn't do what you say, he a little boy, he just made probably one of the hardest decisions of his life to let his son go. And we all know that Blue is the light of his life. And to let Blue go, that took him being a real parent to say, I want what's best for my child, even if it means I got to send my child away to have the best. That's not a boy, that's a grown-ass man. So Vi was dead wrong for that. So then we see that Davis, going back to Davis and Charlie, Davis is leaving after making, because, Charlie is better now that she can care for herself. And pretty much she says, I thank you because I know you had to interrupt your life for me. And Davis was like, you act like I had a choice. You're not an interruption. You're not an interruption, Charlie. I will stop anything to be here for you. And he says to call me if you need me. And we can see that she's now seeing Davis with new eyes. Even we, the audience. I mean, but also shout out to Lynette and Stanley of Random TV Reviews, because they're now calling, because his name is Davis West and they're calling him Davis East, because we're seeing a different side of Davis that we've never seen before. Because we've only seen the selfish, narcissistic asshole, when it comes to Davis West. And now we're seeing this totally different person. And we're seeing that Charlie is experiencing the same thing that we're experiencing. Like, who is this man? That's kind of how we're kind of looking at the situation. But it's everything. Now, this was the shocker of this episode, and it made me look at Calvin in a totally different light. We see that Nova gets a call from Andre Nixon, and she decides to go meet up with him. He lets her know that he's a fan of yours, that he follows the True Papers, and that he read her book and everything. And she was like, oh, yes, I'm very glad that you enjoy my work. And he was like, well, pump your brakes, sis. Aren't you here to discuss my case? And she was like, oh, yes, of course, please. And he lets it know that, I was in college. And even though I was in college and I had this scholarship, I was still down with my crew in the ninth. And one day we all decided to lift some rims to sell, but they got caught. And he said that he talked to the police and he begged that, look, I have a scholarship to college. Please don't arrest me. I'm sorry for this and everything. And pretty much what they did was like, oh, yeah, we know you sorry. And they took him and his crew to a dark alley and they literally beat them badly, like brutally beat them. And he said that the last hit that I received, the last one broke my back, and that is what paralyzed me. And we see that Nova is really bothered and really upset, as we all were when we watched this. And she was like, that is evil. Do you remember the police officers who did this to you? And he was like, do you think I would forget the men who did this to me? The one who actually did the final blow, you thanked him in your book. Yeah, and he was a new guy that was on the crew, and his name was Calvin Gaston. I was like, holy shit. So Calvin's ass had this in his back pocket and never said anything about it. So the whole time, after what happened with George Floyd and what's going on with COVID, and how, Nova was having these conversations with Courtney, and Calvin was just kind of not really responding. This hit Nova hard, and I would say shout out to Rutina Wesley. She did some Emmy notable acting in that scene. Because her whole face said it all. It's like her whole foundation with Calvin broke at that moment. Because she's like, this motherfucker lied to me. All this time I thought that, he was on the team, but he never did anything as far as, being brutal to black people. And we come to find out he did. And not only that, he paralyzed a young boy who had a scholarship and was a basketball star. And you literally took his dream from him with one single blow. So I'm like, Calvin, you fucked up, bruh. Because all this time, I felt like Tyra Banks. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. And how dare you? Like, for real. Like, that shit was messed up. I'm like, Calvin, you fucked up for real, bruh. Like, this whole thing just totally just dismantles their relationship, just like that frame that broke. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, get down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. I definitely would like to hear what you guys thought of this episode, because this episode really gagged me, y'all. I was gagged at the end. I was like, oh shit. So you mean to tell me you in this relationship with this black woman, but yet you were a part of the bullshit? Yeah, I'm totally looking at Calvin with a different set of eyes. But yeah, get down in those comments and let me know your thoughts. So until next time, everybody, take care.